Okay, y'all. Good morning, good morning. It's Thursday morning, and y'all see we got the Bobcat, we got the dump trailer, and we're gonna make some money today. Some real money. So I'll get some footage over here. Well, I did not know when we'd be doing this job. I got footage over there when I looked at it, but I never did post it because, well, with the building and all, I just never had really time. Y'all been over here 100 times. We usually just do the bushes over here, but we're gonna be doing some trimming. We're gonna pretty much just clean some woods out and stuff, you know, and do some tree trimming. And a lot of that I can do with the brush cutter, but see, the brush cutter is not gonna leave a nice cut on a tree. So that's you know, you want it to look neat. We're over in a nice neighborhood over here. So another thing too, y'all, I picked up another HOA over here, and the other HOA is was $800 a month. So, and it's 2 cuts. It's mostly just cutting and weeding. There's no flowers, no you know, weed management or nothing like that. It's just mow it every 2 weeks and weed eat it every 2 weeks. So I'll be taking that on, and it's right here by the house. It's right over here by the other HOA, roadside HOA that we do. So yeah. It's pretty much another roadside HOA. Now, one good thing about some of the more country HOAs, you know, is, well, there's not a lot of detail. And you don't have to go in there and play in the flower beds at the entrance or nothing, because there is no entrance. It's like, you know, it's just like the side of the road. Kind of a new thing, really. When I think, you know, usually when I think of HOAs, I think of, you know, nice, pretty entrance where they got flower beds and all that. Out here, there ain't none of that, man. Well, I mean, not just hired me anyway. Maybe not for everybody, but for a guy like me, that's going to be a lot more lucrative to do that than to go into those neighborhoods with the little yards, based on the equipment I have right now and based on really what I want to do. So I love the big cuts. I like cutting big stuff because I got big mowers, and not everybody, but I can make good money on the bigger cuts. Everybody can't do that because they don't have the big mowers, and they don't have multiple mowers, and, you know, blah blah. But I do. And one of the HOAs that I'm going to be doing, roadside HOAs I'm going to be doing, I was cutting the field before the HOA built houses there. I was cutting the field for the landowner before the HOA ever even bought the place, the property. And then the HOA, and then, you know, these developers go in there and they turn out a field I used to cut be 5-6 acres, 10 acres or whatever. Now, you know, developer buys them, and they cut a road in there, and now there's houses all on the fields that I used to cut. And I'm not cutting the fields no more, but I'm cutting the roadside, which, when you put a lot of people together, like in HOA type environments, where everybody's paying a certain dollar amount to keep the roadside clean, you can make a lot of money at that, or you can make decent money at it. You know, it's really all about how efficient you are, which, you know, it's like that on everything that you do. You know. Today I got the Bobcat, the brush cutter, a couple pole saws, my regular saws, and the grapple bucket and the smooth bucket. So that's what I'm working with today. The thing about this job over here, though, is it's going to be, well, whenever you get on the homeowner's property with a bobcat, it's always a lot more stressful for me. Even though this homeowner's pretty cool, and been working for them. I've been working for these people, and I've cut the lawn before too. The lawn is not what I normally do for them. I just do the bushes, but and it pays good. And a lot of times I talk to you guys about, well, I don't like doing things on the property if I'm not doing the yard. Well, that's true, but if you're paying me enough to do the bushes on the reg, then I'll do it, you know. It's really more about the location of the properties. You know, if I'm on a route and, you know, that property and the owner is friendly and they pay good, then, and they're not real picky and all the things that, you know, that drive a lawn maintenance guy a little bit crazy, you know, I'll do it, right? I don't have to or nothing, but I will. Especially when when one guy can do the bushes in a couple of hours and make a couple $100, and then we can go on with the route, you know, hour and a half. If I get over there and help them, and you know, we can do it in an hour, a couple $100, and then go on down the route, you know. It's really more about how friendly they are to where all the other properties are and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, I'm happy for Zach and the ride that he got. Seems like a pretty good vehicle for the money, and we're gonna try to have a good season and hope for the best, you know. And hopefully, you know, Zach can make it through the summer, and he can, you know, make good money. But, you know, just like with everything, man, and I've said it many times before in the years past and stuff, more money is more problems if you don't know how to deal with it. So Zach got a ride, and I'm very happy for him that he got a ride. You know, but still, a ride gives you more freedom, you know, and that freedom with time and money can lead to problems. Doesn't have to, but it can. Hopefully Zach has turned a corner and his priorities are where they need to be. So, because we got a lot of work, man. All the customers from last year, they're all coming back and then some, and they're bringing their freaking neighbor with them. So I'm probably going to have to hire somebody else as well, at least some part-time help or something. So I'm going to show y'all the scope of everything real quick so y'all can kind of just see. I'm going to set y'all up on time lapse. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be trimming all the branches, low branches in this wooded area. And we're going to use the brush cutter to mulch up everything. I got Zach trimming branches off of, so he's going to be doing that. I'm going to set the camera up right here where y'all can kind of get a bird's eye view of everything. And I'm just going to forget about the camera, man, because I ain't got time to be playing with it. I just hope the GoPro will do what it do. Okay, y'all, so y'all can see what we're doing here. I got the trailer loaded down, but not loaded down as good as it's going to be. it's painstaking to do all this. It's a lot of work. And you know, Zach had to go down that side of the property line over there, so we didn't really I didn't get no footage of that over there. But the quicker we can get done over there, then the quicker we can, you know, get over here on the part that really matters. You know, it took him a lot longer over there, and the reason why is because he was using the Milwaukee saw, and I kept telling him, hey man, grab the damn steel saw. You know, he's working his ass off the first 30 minutes, man, 45 minutes, and you gotta work smart, man. You know, especially on stuff like this, we gotta work smart, you know, no matter what. You know, if the boss man tells you, hey man, you need to use the other saw, then that's what you should do, because obviously he knows. And you know, then when he finally conceded and said okay, so then he grabbed the other saw, and he's like, man, I wish I'd have grabbed this saw earlier. And I'm like, that's what I was trying to tell you, dude. I know all about what tool to use for what, and if you don't, then I do. And since I'm paying, and you know, but see, by it taking them so long up there, it's holding us up down here, because we haven't even started trimming the stuff from the bucket yet. Not even started. So it probably took them an additional 45 minutes or so up there than what it should have. But that's okay. You know, he's working hard too, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of walking over here, and that's usually the worst thing on me anyway. I hate having to walk all over the place. You know, like I can grab a pole saw and I can walk in these woods, and I can cut limbs for hours. You know, and as long as I ain't got to walk a country mile back and forth, getting gas, back and forth, you know, getting the other saw and all that. See, the Milwaukee saw is good for, you know, some stuff, but some stuff it's not. There was a big branch you had to take off that oak tree over there, and that branch, I mean, he 15 minutes on one branch, and you went through 2 batteries. So, you know, now we're going to be on this little stuff, and we might, good thing I brought about 6 or 7 batteries, you know. Just because the Milwaukee pole saw is a little bit lighter, but it better be, you're going to be holding it a lot longer than the steel one. So I'm trying to get him to wrap up there and be done, so we can focus all our energy and effort right here. So there's a lot to trim here. Okay, y'all, so it's about as good as we're going to be able to get it today. We got 2 heaping loads out of here, and I think what I'm going to do is tomorrow morning I'm going to bring a mower over here. See, Zach's wore out. Ever since he got that car, he ain't been getting no sleep, and hopefully he can get past all that. You know, told me he didn't go to bed after 1. You know, well, it's gonna be hard to come out here and work if you rolling like that. You know. But he did work pretty hard, you know, when he had to. But now he's dragging now. He's beat. He's wore out. You know. But I need to bring a lawnmower over here and run a mower in there. I know it's nice and neat in there now. I can run a mower in there and really make it look a lot better. So I might ride by here tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow morning and just hit it with a mower real quick. We're not working tomorrow, it's supposed to rain. But I might come over here and hit this early in the morning. Peace out. All right, y'all. So that's a wrap, man, over there. Now, I told him that I would bring a lawnmower over there and do a final touch up in there, but he really just wanted the trees trimmed. I really don't even have to do that, but he's going to pay me to do it, so I'll probably charge him like $200 more to bring a lawnmower over here tomorrow. Zach did real good, but he pooped out on me. I could tell he's getting tired, but he ain't. But you know, he ate a biscuit at like 9, but you know, he didn't buy anything else. You know, and he took a few breaks, and I left for 45 minutes to go to the dump. But yeah, I don't know. I just know that he's tired, but he did work hard, man. He did, and we got the job done. Don't get me wrong, but that's definitely not something that, you know, we definitely don't want to be doing this kind of thing in you know, a month from now. See, it was damn near freezing this morning, and we still, you see, we still came out of all our clothes, you know. So neighbors came up to me, and he's an old customer of mine. I used to cut his grass, and they fired me. I mean, they did. Well, me and his wife, his wife was well, she got a little bit sassy with me one time, and I got sassy right back, and they fired me. And that's okay, you know. I didn't disrespect her or nothing, but she said something smart to me, and I said something smart back. I said, well, you know, whatever y'all want to do or something. I don't even remember what it was about. It's been 10 years. But over those 10 years, I've been still doing those bushes, and, you know, and the business has grown a lot, and, you know. And so the neighbor, we were over there today with the Bobcat, he didn't know it was me. And he's like, he comes out, he says, hey, you think you can give me a quote? And I reckon, you know, I remember them, you know. I said, hey, so-and-so, it's Ray, man, you remember me? He's like, oh, yeah, how you doing, man? Oh, you quit cutting grass? I'm like, no, I just broadened my horizons or something like that. And he's like, really cool, man, really cool. And he, get this, he was in the Air Force, and he was in the Air Force when I was working for them. He'd be gone for a long time, and he was a fighter jet pilot. That's what he did. And I always thought it was really cool, man. How many fighter jet pilots do you meet in your life, right? You know, for the Air Force. And he did tours too, over in Iraq. But anyway, he's retired now. But he, I mean, he's a military man. That's all he ever did. He never, you know, had a 9 to 5. He was always in the military. So he came to, when he came up to me, he didn't recognize it was me. And then he's like, oh yeah, how you doing, man? You done came up, ain't you? And all this. And I'm like, yeah. It's just funny to see how customers that, you know, at one point, you know, I don't want to say look up to, but you admire, right? And then, you know, they move on, they fire you or whatever, and then if they haven't moved, they live in the same place, and then they see that you done came up, like they're surprised, right? See, the thing about me, y'all, is I'm not surprised that I done came up some, right? I'm really not, because, you know, I work hard at trying to come up, and, you know, it's not a shocker to me at all, not at all. So, you know, when people that ain't seen me in a long time, especially people that put me in a box, right? And that's what his wife did. That's what she was handling me like a little kid. And, you know, like, you know, I don't know, like I was beneath them, you know. And, yeah. I just thought it was cool that he sees that I done came up, and then he's wanting to hire me to do some, like what we were doing there. And then the neighbor across the street, came up and got a card from Zach while I was gone to the dump. So there's a lot more work over there. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm pretty beat though today, man. This is not what we normally do. Zach's wore out, man. I mean, you know, it's like you know, getting a new toy or whatever. You know, he got this new car, and you know, he's probably not going to bed at the same time because, well, he's out and about. And that's the biggest thing that you see with younger people. You know, they can do the work tenfold, right? And Zach did work hard today. I ain't saying he didn't, but it wore on him, you know, as the day got longer and longer. And it is 3 o'clock, but you know, he can't really say nothing because you got to remember the days that we worked 3 hours and he got the same money that he's going to get today. So you can't just take the good. You got to take the good and the bad. So, you know, that's what it is. But I'm pooped, man. I mean, I am beat up, man. And I know he is. He was in that bucket for a minute, you know. And we ain't had no lunch, and that's a stickler for a lot of people. I'm ready to eat. But Zach could have made the job go a lot faster too. A few things, like when I was gone, he did work. He worked his ass. I mean, again, he worked his ass off, you know. But he didn't really do things in a way that would have been friendly for the best way to do things for when the machine. When I got back, he had dragged all the branches to the edge of the wood line, you know. But he didn't cut into smaller pieces the piles that we had already piled up. Now, what's he doing? So what ended up happening is I got back and I tried to start loading that stuff, and he had not cut none of it up. And so it was just making a mess everywhere. So I had to wait on him to cut all that stuff. The machine's sitting idle, you know. When what he should have done is he should have cut all that stuff, and then while I was loading that, he could have dragged the other stuff. Sometimes, you know, and it's not a dig at Zach. Don't think it ain't. I mean, he busted his ass today, dude. He really did. He did a good job too. But y'all know me. I'm always trying to think of things that we could do to where we don't have to work quite as hard, and we can make better time. It's never good enough. And I do the same thing, right? I mean, there's a few things that I could have done to make us a little more streamlined. I could have put fuel in the Bobcat last night. Then I wouldn't have had to stop the day, right? Then I wouldn't have had to spend the 15 minutes it took to get all the buckets and everything, and the 2 buckets out of the back of the dump trailer, and I wouldn't have had to spend the time to load them in the dump trailer. So I could have done some things too. What else could I have done to make things a little bit better? For instance, when we got there, I sent Zach on the other side to do something that you had to do by hand, where the machine really not going to help without making a big impact. What I should have done is I should have put Zach in the bucket off the muscle, see, and let him go on and trim everything. And then while I'm loading up and going to the dump, he could have been working on that other side, see. So, you know, I'm not saying anything bad about Zach or me. I'm just saying that to get better and to evolve, we got to be able to look in the mirror, and we got to be able to analyze, you know, our methods of doing things, and try to do it a little bit better. Sometimes it's just not a better way to do it, but in this scenario there is, and I just pointed it out to you guys. But Zach didn't get to sit on his butt too much today like he does on a lot of Bobcat jobs. I mean, a lot of that I could have done without Zach there. I could have actually used the brush cutter to get a lot of those branches. I'm always trying to get faster, man, or more efficient, or not, you know. I could have, a lot of things I could have done a little bit different, but I learn from these things and I move on, right? I happen to do a YouTube channel, and I do have a disclaimer, and I'm just thinking out loud to you guys. That's all. I ain't crying about nothing. I'm not bitching about nothing. I'm not upset about nothing. I'm not calling nobody out. I'm not, you know, I'm just stating how I think when we get done with the job. You know, some of the ways that we could have done it faster and more efficient and just in general less work. Another thing could have done too is could have brought a lawnmower with me. If we'd have brought a lawnmower with me, and you know, if I hadn't had to stop and get fuel for the Bobcat, I could have brought a lawnmower with no problem. You know, and if I brought a lawnmower, then I wouldn't have needed the brush cutter. The lawnmower on the trailer takes up just about as much space as the brush cutter does. See, so I'm not, you know, I'm looking at myself too, and I'm like, damn, man, damn, dude, damn. But then there are a lot of things that went really right. You know, the Bobcat ran good. Zach worked hard. We were, you know, he was in the bucket for a while, and everything worked out. But this is the first time since I have been doing the Milwaukee pole saw and, you know, everything. It's the first time that we ever ran out of battery power. The batteries are not lasting as long as they did when I first got them. I'm going to order me some more batteries. It's pretty irritating when you are running the battery stuff and you run out of battery power. I have 5 batteries with me. We ran through all of them. Now, Zach did cut something off of one of the trees that he should have done with the other saw. But, you know, that got on him on the very beginning, within the first 30 minutes of us being there. He was getting, when he was busting his ass, he done went through a battery in 15 minutes because he was cutting a great big branch with the pole saw. Pole saw can do it, but you know, when you're sitting there and you got the steel pole saw with a brand new chain on it, that's still, you cut trees with that steel pole saw. It's powerful. It's really very hard to start today. It's the fuel, I know it is. Been sitting too long. But a good day, really, you know, at the end of the day, a good day. So anyway, y'all, we finna pull up over here and we're gonna dump this stuff, and that's it, man. Peace out.